for another episode of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a show made by 12s from around the world, for 12s from around the world. I'm Mosette, and here's your host, and my dad, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, everyone, this is indeed the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church Seahawk Positivity. And welcome to episode 1013 of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show, the Cardinals edition. So please grab a desired sit or beverage of your choice, put your tray table up and your seat back in the full upright position. Make sure your safety belt is completely tightly fastened around yourself. Keep your arms and legs inside the podcast at all times. And what can I tell you? Maybe, just maybe, a win this week is in the cards for the Seahawks.
Ooh.
Clever. You see what I did there?
And they're playing the cards.
All right. We have a lot of show, but before we do, we want to introduce everybody. We're going to start with my son, Little Mo. Little Mo, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Doing well. Got Abby there, our one of our mascots. Abby is taking care of you there. Hopefully get bouncing back and get a win this week, Little Mo.
Yeah.
We hope so. And then there is Matt from Merry Old England. Hi, Matt.
Good morning, Moses. How are you?
Wonderful. How are you, sir?
Well, London games are well underway here at the moment, building up all that tension for our own away game in Germany later this year.
Yes.
Last week, as you may have seen, a good friend of the show, Mr. Aaron Rodgers, lost to New York in London, although pretty sure that's not the first time he's had his butt thoroughly spanked by 53 grown men.
Okay.
Allegedly.
And we're off.
Allegedly. No, come on, Moses.
Allegedly?
No, come on. You know as well as I do. You know as well as I do that I treat Aaron Rodgers just like family. He's like my sister.
Yeah, Aaron took a beating.
Oh, he did.
And
yes,
I bet he
was
enjoyed that,
most
yeah.
upset in that final couple of plays where he was battered away and had couldn't get a ball off, which has never happened to him before. It's not a common thing.
Son of a bunch of men. Allegedly, but we won't.
It's
All
not
right,
that
enough,
common.
Aaron Rodgers,
It's not
but-
that common, and it doesn't happen to
Again.
every man.
Send your 12-man fan jam show at gmail.com. Attention, Maddie. Attention, Maddie. God. Someone who I hope will save us is Dustin. Hi, Dustin.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing well.
He's been robbed by the look of it. Someone just coming in and took his stuff.
I know. This was Connor's room, and I got tired last week of like the green screen stuff, just
Oh, yeah.
moving around, and it bugged me. So you see there's a bunch of spackle and stuff on the wall. I don't know if you can see it or not, but
Yeah.
we're gonna end up painting this room and then moving stuff over. The only thing I have
Nice.
over there right now is that jersey. It's framed.
Very nice. Very nice.
Paint
Connor,
samples down there.
Connor, who, of course, has gone off to the Air Force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually
Yeah,
heard
that's
from both of them today.
Good.
Yeah, Connor's was just a text needing an address, and he couldn't say anything else.
Yeah.
And Zachary got to call Lindsay, and he talked to Lindsay for a little while. And
Good.
apparently, last time we talked to him was a couple weeks ago, and he was struggling a little bit, and he was a little upset. But now he's like, he's like, I feel more confident now. Like this is a person in general.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's coming together, and he was talking about he did really well on they did like a what's it called? It's like basic medical stuff that they teach every military person. I guess he did that, and he said he nailed that one, and to the point where they had him help somebody else that was struggling with it study it or whatever to teach them through it, and they passed as well. So he was pretty proud of himself. Yeah.
Good news. And we're proud of him as well. Send him our love, as always. And so always gets our loves too. All the way from Nevada is Statsman Mark. Statsman Mark, how are you this evening?
Well, I'm doing well. I always the Rogers updates always give me. I did text. I wanted to say I texted Dennis last time. Like, what is up with the back of the haircut of Rogers?
I know.
Did he lose a bet? That's talk about a fade anyway. And work. I'm blessed. Dennis, work already has promoted me They've promoted me from the rubber dog shit department to the adult department. So the things that I am responsible for selecting before it is shipped out,
Congratulations.
and I am moving up in Nevada.
Moving up.
And
Before you
one
know
day
it, you'll be out of adult toys, but who knows?
One day I'll be out of this high density dwelling, Dennis. One day I'm going to hit one of these parlay teasers. Look at this. Dennis, I'm doing homework right now.
He does not have a problem, anybody. No problem.
Not a problem.
No problem. But and also we have Will. Where are you? Come on, Will. Will.
Here.
What's up?
Yeah, with the baseball games this weekend, I got delayed 90 minutes for a Mariners baseball podcast. So I'm good.
Oh, that game one. Oh, that first game. Oh.
Yeah, well, Will, I have to share this. Will, we talk all week, and Will goes, "Hey, we record on Fridays. Are we going to have to move the podcast up an hour and a half because of the game?" And so I start going, "Oh no!" And so I start looking for times and talking to everybody. And then I look at the schedule, and the Mariners do not play Friday. So, yeah, thanks for that, Will.
That freaked the hell out of
Appreciate
me.
that.
Let me tell you right now.
Me too. I'm like, okay. But thanks, Will, for that. I appreciate it.
Well, is it my fault that you guys aren't keeping up on the Mariners this year?
We're watching.
We don't
them.
care
Lil Mo
about
and
the
I-
Mariners.
Well, we do. Lil Mo and I are watching.
We're watching
and-
all the games.
Yeah, we are. We're rooting for the Mariners because half the teams are the Reds. So there you go. Before we go on, I do, Matt, there's something I want to share with you. Lil Mo and I were eating at Chili's tonight, and last week on your wonderful fashion and weather report, you featured Katrina and the waves.
I did. Yeah.
And Walking on Sunshine came on the radio as we were eating. And I went,
Oh,
there's
wow.
Katrina. Yeah.
Amazing. I would say it was fate, but we still lost.
No,
So
it's
Did it feel good?
It did feel good. It did feel good
Did you
walking
get
on
some
sunshine.
baby back ribs?
No. I had a hamburger. All right. Anyway, let's move on with the show. This is how this show is run. All right. This is how 12-Man Fan Jam Show episode works. We have 4 quarters and a halftime, just like a real NFL football game. In quarter one, Will is going to catch us up on the news if he has time between now and the delay. All right, good. In quarter two, we will talk about last week's loss against the New Orleans Saints, 39-32, and go over our predictions, prognostications, and game balls. At halftime, it is the best Seahawk-themed trivia game on the internet. 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
Of the world.
of the world. And Little Mo has come in and just taken charge of the trivia, and I'm telling you, he doesn't know anything. So
Allegedly.
allegedly. So we'll allegedly see how it
allegedly
goes.
there, little man.
Yeah. In the second half, we'll talk about that Cardinal game. We'll have an injury report. We'll have fashion. We'll have weather report. We'll have sermon and Seahawk positivity. Even Statsman Mark will throw out some numbers of other games. We'll put all that together and give you our predictions, game balls, and prognostications for that game between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals whenever it's played. But before we do that, I'm going to remind you to subscribe our YouTube channel. Join us on the 12-Man Fan Jam Show Facebook page. We have a great game day thread that we like to have a lot of fun on. We'd love you to join us. And our email is 12manfanjamshow@gmail.com. A couple of programming notes before we continue with the news. A couple updates here I want to share with you. First off, we got a couple upcoming shows that I want you to be aware of. Now, episode 1015, this is 1013. So in 2 weeks, it's the Giants, but that is our Halloween special. And we have always have some fun time with our Halloween specials. So you always want to stay tuned for that one. And then 2 weeks after that, we go to Germany and play Tampa Bay. And that will be a special.
Wait, we're all going to Germany?
Well,
All of us. Dennis
here's
is
what
saying.
I'm going to do, and I'll bring this up every week before it happens. I happen to have in my possession some snacks from Germany that I've never eaten. And before every quarter, I'm going to bite into a German snack and critique it for all of you.
How long
So,
have you had these snacks?
I was going to say,
I was
your,
wondering
Yeah.
that myself.
Just
Go
a
ahead,
month or
ask
two. Not very long.
didn't
Just
your
a month.
family
okay.
come from Germany, like, I don't know, a couple of
Yeah,
generations
we did.
ago?
We
These
did.
snacks
Yeah,
have been
like,
a
turn the
snacks
century.
are
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
But
They're from the
these
trip.
snacks I bought in a store here.
From the trip.
the boat. They came over on the boat. No, but you'll see them that time. But I will be taste testing German snacks on the Germany show. So get excited for that. And get excited for now because it's time for the 12-man Fan Jam News Report. Yes, news from around the world with our news hound Shadowhawk. Will, what you got for us?
Oh, Moses. Actually, now that I think about it, it's too bad we're not recording on Thursday because we could have recorded episode 1013 on 1013.
Ooh, nice.
But we came this
Missed
close.
it by that much.
Yep. So
Well done.
But-
well said.
anyway, as Matt alluded to in his little segment that our lawyers have told us we really shouldn't mention anymore. The Giants and Packers played at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in England last Sunday, but the field was not in the best of shape, apparently. As one source explained it to Pro Football Talk, there was an issue with seams in the artificial turf playing field that led to some, quote, deep dips in some portions of the seams. Viking safety Lewis Sign, I think it is, I don't know. When he got hurt in England last Sunday, it apparently, Sunday ago, apparently it occurred in the vicinity of one of the seams. And the source said, quote, it's a, quote, bad surface.
Oh.
However, the NFL and NFLPA both inspected the field, said that it was officially good enough to play on. They did obviously have the game, and I don't believe anybody got seriously hurt. So thankfully that was something that was avoided. But it's kind of amazing how this is a new stadium, and for them to be having field issues is kind of surprising.
Yeah, Matt.
Mm.
Well,
Although I'm not going to take any criticism from a bunch of Americans who still used to play at FedEx Field, which was
well done.
basically an uphill slope.
I'm not defending FedEx Field either. I mean, that's a whole other.
My next question was going to be: there were seams? Were there any cracks in the field?
Well, there was probably plenty of crack off the field. Around in the
Well, I
Tottenham
just
area.
wondered if Aaron was feeling any cracks, but
I couldn't say. What I will say though, that's not the only game to have been played there though, and there wasn't any complaints the previous game to my knowledge. It is a very clever stadium though. It's one of those stadiums where the sides flip out and the soccer pitch sinks down and to the side, and then the American football comes out and goes up, and it's all done electronically and automatically. It's all very clever.
Yeah,
the Transformer.
Pretty much, but no, nobody else has been injured. So I sometimes do wonder whether some of these players just like to say shit to say that save the fact that
they might.
Fell over.
Well, they're not playing any more NFL games there this season.
That's true.
The last thing
next.
Wembley, and then of course our games in Germany. So if there are issues, they'll have time to figure it out before they host NFL games next year.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Good point. What else you got, Will?
Well, kind of an unprecedented stat line from the Chiefs game on Monday night. You remember how when we had Jimmy Graham, how he got so many touchdowns, but that was pretty much the only time he ever got the ball. It was down by the end zone.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. Well, Travis Kelce had quite the game, had quite a similar game on Monday night. He caught 4 touchdowns, but only had 25 receiving yards. Prior to that, the fewest number of receiving yards any player with 4 touchdowns ever had was 93. That was Marvin Jones of the Lions.
Wow.
The fewest rushing yards ever in a game and for a player who had 4 touchdowns was 37 with Jamal Lewis of the Ravens. I won't mention who he was playing in that game because it's annoying. So yeah, Travis Kelce didn't have a lot of yards, but still made some fantasy team owners happy this week.
Lil Mo, we talked about that a little bit. It was kind of like who had the stats similar to Randy Moss?
Well, Randy Moss had like 3 for 193 and 3 touchdowns.
Catches, 3 touchdowns, 193 yards. Oh my God. And I remember, they still bring up in our fantasy league, the Jerome Bettis game where he had 3 carries, 3 yards, 3 touchdowns.
And did you know he was from Detroit?
No.
Yeah.
What?
Wow. Key to the city?
Key to the city. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, Kelce had 4 touchdowns. That was pretty amazing. And it was incredible. He's an incredible player to watch. No doubt about it.
And apparently that's all he does, catch touchdowns.
Oh, he does catch touchdowns. And apparently all Zordy eats is Twizzlers. Are those Twizzlers there?
Never always.
Straws.
Or-
Oh.
Oh, he's frozen now.
You have enough for the class. That's what I want to know. You're frozen. I busted you
Let it
and you
go.
froze.
Let it
Take
go.
that.
Always
Yeah.
the original. There we go.
Why you gotta call him
Oh,
out?
there you are.
Yeah, get it together,
Oh.
Elsa. There we go.
What are you eating? There you are. What are you eating, Statsman Mark?
Am I back or who?
Oh, okay. I see.
Oh.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah,
Oh,
Right
Vines.
on.
Do you have enough for the rest of the class?
Of course.
Okay, good. So we'll take that here at the end of the first
You
quarter.
don't have to call him out.
That's the end of the first quarter, bitches.
All right, that's the end of the first quarter. Coming up, we're going to share some vines from Zordy, and we're going to talk about the Cardinals game coming up on Sunday in Seattle. But before we do that, we have to go and look back at that game against the Saints last week. Have to do it. We'll do that after this, I guess.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Yes, it's the second quarter of episode 1013 of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show, the Cards edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show. And we hope winning this week isn't the Cards. It wasn't last week. Seahawks drop to 2-3, losing on the road in New Orleans, 39-32. Dustin, what are some good? Is there anything good from that game that we can talk about?
Yeah, I think Geno Smith, he was looking pretty good.
Yeah.
He played really well. He could have had even more yards and had an even better day had there not been so many drops. There was an uncharacteristic amount of drops from
There were.
our ball catchers. And then there was also some very questionable officiating
Oh,
going
There
on
was.
DK definitely should have had a touchdown.
Yeah.
And there's the PI on Woolen that you're like, that's just football.
Yeah.
Like you're allowed to touch them.
Yeah.
So, but I think the brightest spot was, I think the brightest spot was definitely Geno Smith and his play, and he's just looking really, really comfortable. So
He really is. He looks incredibly comfortable in the offense. Will, what are your thoughts?
Well, I've got to echo that on Geno Smith. I mean, he's making the kinds of throws that we saw another quarterback who shall remain nameless make in his prime. And he's making throws I honestly did not think he was capable of making. So if he keeps this up, he's working his way into the conversation. Yes.
Oh, damn it. Will's talking. Will was talking about you. It doesn't mean you have to be on the show. Get down. Sorry.
like when I mentioned my dog's name.
No,
She comes running
sorry,
over.
Will. As you were saying.
Yeah. But if he can keep this up consistently, he's working himself into the long-term discussion at that position.
Yeah.
But the run defense, holy hell. I mean,
what run?
we know it's coming. And even on the good plays, they're getting 5, 6, 7 yards, comparatively good plays anyway. They're getting 5, 6, 7 yards. I mean, when we took the lead in the fourth quarter, went up 32-31. Did anybody really think we were going to hold the Saints at 31 points? I was dismayed that it happened that quickly. Thank you, NFC Player of the Week, Taysom Hill. But
we do that.
You know,
he had a lot of help from our defense, though. So,
well, it's this season is just weird because it's happening the exact opposite of the way I figured it would happen. I mean, I thought the offense would be holding us back and the defense would be doing well. I thought the rookie cornerbacks would struggle, but the front seven would do well. And it's
the other way around.
All been backwards. And Rashad Penny, man, you just got to feel for the guy. I mean, I'm not worried about Ken Walker playing for us. I think he's going to do a great job, but Penny was just doing so much great stuff and he'd worked so hard, and to have him hurt again, it's rough.
And we'll talk
Man,
about that
that's-
in a minute, but picking up the blitz is something that Penny had been doing well. That Little Mo I've talked about that maybe, Walker's not going to be so adept at, I'm afraid.
Not
Well,
as
that-
big.
That's something to keep in mind because our best pass blocking running backs are Rashad Penny and Travis Homer,
Mhm.
both of whom are currently on injured reserve.
Yeah.
So that's something to keep an eye on going forward.
It is. It definitely is. Little Mo, something that you want to talk about that game last week?
The linebackers, Cody Barton, and even Brooks is getting the tackles, but he's getting the tackles 10 yards on the field. I just feel that they are just not. I don't know who thought Barton was be a good linebacker, but keep seeing him turned around.
Poor angles by a lot of things on this defense, not just them, Little Mo, but just the whole defense. Missed bad angles, missed tackles, missed assignments, winding up wide open guys, blown coverages, and it's been 5 games.
Yeah.
Let's get this straightened up right now. And I agree with you. Cody Barton is on the struggle bus. There's no doubt about it. He's on the struggle
But
bus.
I also think Brooks is too. I think he puts up the tackles, but it's 10 yards down the field.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We haven't seen him behind the line of scrimmage very often.
Yeah, but another thing is Tariq is balling out right now. I mean,
yes,
he's doing
way better than we all thought he would do. Tariq Woolen has just really done. And the back four, Lil Mo and I talked about this. To me, the front seven's a big disappointment, but the back four has been really kind of a pleasant surprise for the most part. They've kind of held their own. If we get that front seven going, and please somebody get to the quarterback.
Another one is Dale Taylor cannot be an everyday outside linebacker.
It's just not happening.
Nope.
And I think that's why I brought in Bruce.
Taylor's got to be my biggest disappointment of the year so
Me
far.
too.
This was the guy I really pegged as
his
own, taking the next step, being an elite player, and he's gone the wrong way.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's like the thing that he's best at is pass rush, and he's not even being that good of a pass rusher.
Well,
go ahead, Zordy.
Well, that before the year or whatever point this year when it was announced we're switching to a 3-4, I'm like, well, I had to check my calendar. It's like, what is this, 1992? A 3-4. I thought it was a heck of a year. But look at like Puna Ford. all these guys who had done something before are essentially, anyway, they've kind of disappeared. But with Geno Smith, if we think bigger picture here, check this out. Go roll with me for just 1 minute. What if we traded Geno Smith for a first and third and have even more draft capital for the future?
Oh, what? Do you think somebody give us a first and a third for Geno Smith?
He's worth it.
Denver
He's
might.
it right now.
Denver might.
We could send Geno to Carolina.
That's what I was thinking.
There you go. Well, that's not a bad idea. But Geno's done very well.
Now, how about this? Really quickly, Dennis, I want to throw this at you. This is a wild quick poll. Does anyone think the way we're headed, if Lamar Jackson left Baltimore, would he be a missing QB? Would you pay a boatload of money for him to come to Seattle?
No.
Seattle.
Me no like
No?
I don't like Lamar Jackson
Okay.
at all. I think he's incredibly overrated. We don't like him at all.
I'd like him here. I would not like him here for what it would cost to bring him here.
Yeah.
I don't
if it's
like.
50 million
I don't
a year,
think he's
I
a
hear you.
quarterback. He is a runner that throws. He's not a thrower that runs, and I don't like that. Matt from Old England, what are your thoughts?
Well, legend has it that Taysom Hill is still running against.
Yeah, I think so.
at the
I think
moment.
he just scored again. Yeah.
Probably
And
the most
laughing about it.
The frustrating thing is for any fan, I think, is when we can see what's about to happen, and yet coaches don't seem to be able to see what's going to
Oh my
happen.
lord.
And we're like, well, we can see he's going to run. He's going to do it, and he does it. I don't know. I think an 11% third down conversion ratio percentage is simply not sufficient.
No.
You cannot win on 11% of third down efficiencies. That's not the way it works. 12 penalties. 12. And now I agree with Dustin. Some of these are really horrifically awful penalties. I didn't, they were just awful. But nevertheless, it's still 12 of them, and not all of them were bad. Some of them were genuine penalties that do not need to be happening in this game.
Not even NFL referees can screw everything up.
No, indeed. I don't think the fumble on DK was a fumble, but equally, there were so many things in the officiating where you just want to take a second look at it and go, really, really. But I will say that I think the touchdown that the Saints got that you didn't think was a touchdown, Dennis.
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah, I
With
did.
the hand?
I had to put it in the chat. I'm going to be honest. If the teams had been reversed, I'd have been screaming touchdown
Probably.
from the highest building. That was definitely a touchdown.
I was just mildly disappointed in that, just because I thought
they
his
should
hand
never
was
have been
there.
in that position. The important thing is they should never have been in that position because it was not a
No.
fumble in the first case. Woolen has had an incredible season thus far, and long may it continue. But I do think that trying to punch the ball out rather than taking the legs out to stop an obvious touchdown. I mean, there's times and places to try and get the ball out for a turnover.
I think he'll learn
at that
too.
moment. Just focus on stopping the touchdown. That's what I
think he'll learn that in time. But I think you're right.
Again, you're right. He'll pick up those skills as he goes. I mean, but again, I will say this: that obviously disappointing third quarter, no score for us at all in the third quarter. That's always disappointing. But it was entertaining. The koala did make an appearance. There were some koala offensive drives.
Definitely some koala moments, no doubt about it. But not as many as we thought at the beginning of the year. And even though you said you're right about the third down conversions, 32 points is enough to win a game.
That's what I was going to say.
Totally. I mean, again, we all kept saying, where is Gino going to get these points from? Well, okay, he can get the points now. I'm kind of there. He can certainly do that. But I do think as well. I mean, I don't know what happened with the punt situation.
Oh my God!
I don't know what.
Apparently, he thought he saw a hole and he could run through it.
Is that what he's saying?
Is that what he's saying?
No, Pete Carroll was saying they were doing the rugby punt thing where he runs to one side and punts it to one side of the field.
Like college football?
Yeah, but the problem was after he'd run to one side, he had the player right in front of his face and I didn't think he could get the punt off without it being blocked. So
he just kept running.
Well, he definitely did have the player in his face pretty quickly.
That was definitely a very forgetful moment.
Yeah, could have done without that. That was embarrassing for all.
I wish I could get that moment.
All concerned. But yeah, I will say it was an entertaining game, and thank you to everybody that turned up on the Facebook page for the game day thread. If you don't know, we do run a game day thread for every single game. You should come along to our Facebook page and join us as we watch it together and share gifts. That's kind of what we do for the entire game.
Cuss words, we cuss a lot. I cuss a lot.
We do cuss a lot.
We all cuss a lot on there, but not here. But please join our Facebook page. But before we do that, before we put this game away, we have to see how we did in our posse prediction challenge.
Did somebody finally get off the schneid?
Whoop, whoop.
2-minute warning.
Dennis?
Yes.
Did you see how Zach Wilson's Cougar program has rejuvenated the Jets, reinvigorated the offense?
40 points. We'll talk about that when we come up. Yeah.
We got that. We already know the reviews from the BFF of his. Well, that's very complicated, but nonetheless, he is delivering on a lot of levels in New York. Okay.
Folks, we can't make this stuff up.
Running from May to December.
But anyway, back to our game, the Saints and the Seahawks. The scores, Jose had 31-34. That's pretty close. So I gave him a point for that. No one else got anything there. Game balls, we didn't win. So there's no game ball. We did pretty well prognostications. Lockett got a TD. So Jose and Mark got that. Mark Ty Turner. Smith with 3 touchdowns running past. Dustin, he did get that. We got 2 turnovers for Chris. Andy, New Orleans did get over 350 offensive yards. And Matt, Smith with no interceptions. You got a point, Matt, from Old England. So hooray for that.
I'm taking it to the bank.
The over and under was over. Little Mo, Jose, Mark, Mark Ty Turner, Mike Pascal. Becky got on the board as well. It's her first time with a point. Chris and Moses got it as well, which means our overall scores for week 5. Jose with 3, Mark, Chris with 2, Mike, Little Mo, Becky, Dustin, Andy, Matt, Statsman Mark, and myself with a point, which means we're all on the scoreboard now. The overall scores, everybody's here. Mike at 14, Jose at 7, Will, Chris, Andy, Mark at 5, Little Mo, Dustin, Statsman Mark at 3, Jimmy and I at 2, Carrie at 1, and Becky and Matt are on the board at 1. You've only just begun,
Becky.
Which means our scores are, oops, I didn't write it down. It doesn't matter.
Better that way. Better
It
that
doesn't
way.
matter.
It's halftime, bitches!
Hey, you know what? Just trust me. We're getting our butts kicked by Team 12. We're going to halftime. We're getting out of the New Orleans game. I will have it updated
Why
for
we're
next
losing?
week.
Well,
We're losing, and we know that. So, as always. So, but before we go to halftime, we want to talk about coming up the second half. We got all the information you need for the Cards game on Sunday. But before that, it is the best Seahawk themed trivia game on the internet. 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
Of the world.
of the world. And that is coming up right after this. Don't you go change it.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
Yes, it's time for America's favorite Seahawk-themed trivia game on the internet, 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
Of the world.
the game that challenges the posse and those watching the show. For those watching the show, our questions will be up on the screen for you to take care of and participate in as well. If you do, let us know how you do. The contestants are Matt, Dustin, Little Mo, Statsman Mark, and Will. There are 2 rounds of questions. Each round is worth 1 point each. And at the end, we do a final question worth 2 points, where hopefully a champion will be crowned. But if there is a tie, we'll go to a double secret overtime question, and the winner will be crowned 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia champion of the world. So we will start with Little Mo won last week. So Little Mo, there are 4 questions about the Cardinals and the Seahawks, and 1 question that's not about the Cardinals and the Seahawks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which one would you like, Little Mo?
2.
Little Mo goes with 2, and then we'll go with Matt.
3, please.
Matt will go with Dustin.
What? That's like the prom?
That'll go with
What are we
Dustin.
talking about?
This is
What's wrong?
Matt will go with
He doesn't even
Dustin.
know what he said.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Dustin. 1, 4, 5. You know what I meant.
Yeah,
Well,
Matt would
first
go
of
with
all, I wanna
Aaron,
say,
right? I'm confused.
Yeah. You said this challenges us. It doesn't challenge little squirt over there. He's already got the
You're right.
answers. He just has to read off the
Squirt.
paper.
You're right. Here
I'll
we
go
go.
first. I'll go first.
Dustin will go first.
Can't wait for you to fail.
that'd be fighting talk.
And then Will, 4 or 5.
Surprise me.
Oh.
Mark, 4 or 5.
He never has a cup of 4 or 5 at home. I will do number 5.
Such a bunch of jackasses.
I know. I did not say that. However,
You were thinking it rather loud.
it was implied. Dustin,
Yeah.
there are 4 football questions. You did not get one. Cardinal Richelieu.
Okay.
Cardinal Richelieu, what did he invent? The iron mask, the rack, or the table knife? Dance!
Oh, Cardinal Richelieu. Okay, I was trying to figure out what
Of the Spanish
connection was there.
Inquisition. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition amongst our weaponry.
The Inquisition. Let's begin. The Inquisition.
Copyright.
How about the rack? The rack sounds cool.
How about the rack?
Yeah,
I thought Marilyn Monroe invented the rack, but that's another story.
Kate up.
Different rack.
Oh, and remember, you can ask me to take one away, but it's too late for that because I would obviously leave the rack in for that one.
Yeah.
You said the rack. Yeah, well.
Yep.
No, he invented the table knife, the non-sharp table knife, like the butter
Wow.
knife. Yeah. Okay. Who knew?
Never would have gotten that one right.
Who knew?
Because it
Do you get
hurts
homework?
more during the torture.
Yeah.
Because it's dull, you twit.
I guess from what I read, he was tired of people picking their teeth with the sharp knives, so he made them dull. So they wouldn't.
Dennis, isn't Richelieu French for reach around, and is that why Dennis guessed the rack?
Mark,
Yes.
almost every word in French is English for
Good night,
reach around.
everybody.
Hey, Torquemada, what do you say?
My.
Hey, Little Mo.
Nay.
Little Mo.
Yeah.
When the Seahawks played the Cardinals, back in Seattle in 1998. How many interceptions did Cardinals quarterback Jake Plummer throw in that
I
game?
thought that was
1, 2, or 3?
Wow, Jake Plummer.
Jake the Snake.
Mr.
1,
and
2, or
Mrs.
3
Seahawk got
quarterbacks.
married.
Interception.
What was that? Who got married?
Mr. and Mrs. Seahawk got married at that football game,
I thought it was a Redskins game. It was a Cardinals game.
Cardinal game.
Say get
So
canceled.
let me tell you the conversation I had with Mr. and Mrs. Seahawk. I'm in their house and he's saying, here's the pictures. We got married at halftime. And he said, they won. I said, what if they didn't win? He said, but they did. I said, but what if they didn't? And he goes, but they did. I said, but what if they didn't? He said, they did. And I said, okay. True conversation. Sorry, Little Mo. How many interceptions for Jake Plummer?
Sorry, little Mo.
I'm gonna go with 2.
2. It's 3. He threw 3 in that game. Yeah. And 1 to Mr. Seahawk. Matt.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
When the Seahawks played the Cardinals in 2007, how many interceptions did Kurt Warner throw in that game? 3, 4, or 5?
Oh, Lord, she's clearly having a bad day. Let's be hopeful.
Oh, 2007. Holy cow.
2007. That was a good year. Good year for Chablis wine. Let's go with 4.
Let's go with 4.
Yeah.
No, he threw 5.
Dear.
He did throw 5.
Wow.
Nobody on the
Yeah,
board
bad
yet.
game.
I sure hope we won that game.
I was going to say, let's hope we won that one.
Will, when the
Yes,
Seahawks played the Cardinals in 2005, how many touchdowns did Sean Alexander score in that game? 3, 4, or 5?
Well, first off, I have it on good authority that Mr. and Mrs. Seahawk did not get married at this game.
No, they did not.
Score altogether or just rushing touchdowns?
Rushing touchdowns.
Okay.
And score all together, actually, but
Yeah. I will say 4.
he will say 4. Yes!
Yes.
Will is on the
Somebody's got a
board with 4. All right. Statsman Mark.
I think that's the game where he joked about he had to use the bathroom at halftime.
Yes, sir.
Said he
Think
lost
so.
a bunch of weight and then came
I
out
think
a
that was
little
the game they
faster.
played. I think that was the game they played in Arizona.
Oh, was it?
Oh, was
Okay.
it? No, the one he won. Yeah. No. Statsman Mark, Seahawks played the Cardinals in Seattle in 2003. How many turnovers did the Seahawks have in that game? 3, 4, or 5?
Oh, we were having a bad day.
Wow.
It's like a
Holy
litany of
cow.
woe that you found this evening, Dennis.
Well, this is gonna make it even more either hysterical or that. So I'm allowed to eliminate one
Yes.
of these.
You can. Would you like me to eliminate one?
I went with Matt
Yes.
last time.
Is it 3 or 4?
Yes, please.
Is it 3 or 4?
Oh my goodness. I'm afraid we're gonna have to go with 4.
Fade yourself. Fade yourself.
It's gonna have to
I
go
know.
with 4. Yes! Woo! Goes to 4. Statsman Mark is on the board. So is
I'm happier
Will.
about that than when I get the score.
Dennis, it's one of those rare moments where I experienced quote letting it happen. That was just
Just let it
amazing.
happen. You just let it happen. And it happened.
Either that or is that ayahuasca that what's his name recommended to me just opened up. No,
Aaron
All right.
Rodgers.
We are going to round 2. Congratulations to Will and Mark. Will, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10.
Do 7.
Will do 7. Mark, 6, 8, 9, 10.
6.
Mark will do 6. Little Mo, 8, 9, or 10.
Let's go with 8.
Little Mo. Dustin, 9 or 10.
A 9.
9.
9. 9.
9.
9.
Yeah.
And that means that the show will end with Matt.
I get 10.
Matt gets 10. Again, one of these is not a football question. And unfortunately for Statsman Mark, that is the first one. Statsman Mark, when the Cardinals last won a football NFL championship, was it 1945, 46, or 47? Last time the Cardinals won an NFL championship, 45, 46, or 47.
You remember, Mark? You were there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He didn't watch it though. He was busy betting.
It was my first teaser carved in a mini tablet, but it was a stone tablet. You just had to
chisel it in there.
You had to chisel it in there. Boy,
Solomon
you know
Gomorrah
what?
is tied at 69.
What my
Upset.
people know.
David 1, Goliath nothing.
Dennis, you have a future in comedy, my friend. Let's see.
That's someone else's skit, so no.
Let's see. For the sake of keeping this moving forward like a Brett Favre investigation, I'm going to say 1947.
1947.
Good year.
Good year. He's got 2, people.
Unstoppable.
He has got 2.
Wow.
Oh my God. Could somebody got to stop him?
Somehow the high desert, somehow a lack of oxygen has fueled my brain, Dennis. It's the most
You must have got that
amazing
email with the
thing.
questions that I sent you and Little Mo at the same time.
It might be why I'm turning purple as we speak.
Maybe. Hey, Will.
Yes, sir.
Seahawks played the Cardinals in 2010. How many turnovers did the Cardinals have in that game? 3, 4, or 5?
Oh, I like this one better than asking
Yeah,
numbers the Seahawks had.
I agree.
Take one away, please.
Okay. They had 4 or 5.
Yeah. Why not? 5.
Why not? Why not 5? Because that's right. That's why.
There you go.
Will and Mark both have 2 for 2. Little Mo.
Yes.
When the Seahawks played the Cardinals in 2014 in Seattle, how many field goals did Steven Hauschka hit? 3, 4, or 5? How many field goals did Hauschka kick?
Take one away.
Take one away. He kicked 3 or 4.
Okay. Well,
Ooh, I know.
I'm gonna go with 4.
Gonna go with 4. Yes. Little Mo is on the board as well.
I think
All
Gabby
right.
was whispering the answer in his ear.
Yeah.
Probably. I was already going 4. No. Dustin.
Yeah.
Seahawks played the Cardinals in Seattle in 2011. How many times did the Seahawks sack Cardinal quarterback Kevin Cobb? Kevin Cobb. Yeah, Kevin Cobb.
Wow.
1, 2, or 3. How many times
Wow.
did we sack him? I was so
I'm gonna
worried. He
hope
played
for
so well
3.
for the Eagles, and then I'm sorry, what?
I'm hoping for 3.
You're hoping for 3?
Yep.
You've got 3.
Yes.
Wow.
He said I have 3 points, guys. Sorry.
No.
All right, Matt. Everyone scored but you. It's your turn.
Story of my
That's-
life. Everyone's
You've heard that before many times.
Unless it's given to me like Dustin.
So
yeah, that was interesting.
Cheers,
What-
thanks.
when the Seahawks played the Cardinals in Seattle in 2016, who did not catch a touchdown pass? Jimmy Graham, Tyler Lockett, or Paul Richardson?
I know
Who
who
did
did
not
I know I'm going to be upset
catch
him. I'm going to have to
a
upset him.
touchdown
aren't I?
pass in the game? Who did not? Who did not
I
catch
do
one?
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Do
I can't
it.
do it because it's just going to piss him off. Can you
You
take
want
one
to.
away, please?
I'll take away Paul Richardson. It's either Jimmy Graham or Tyler Lockett.
He's
I'm going to save
doing it.
myself. I'm going to. No, I'm not because that's just not
Who
fair.
did
I'm going to
not
save myself.
catch
I'm going to
touchdown
say
pass?
Tyler Lockett.
You sure?
Yes.
Yeah, it was Tyler Lockett.
I faded myself. I could have just gone for the cheap gag there. But I thought, no.
Oh, you're a true friend, my friend.
Honestly,
You are
if
a
I've
true
learned
friend.
anything in life, it's never go with a cheap gag. Obviously, it's one of those
Yeah.
really expensive ones you can hook around the back. That's what we
Oh
want.
I
yeah.
don't know. Some about that dog poop
Whoa.
that Storney's.
That took a turn.
I took a turn. And now it's turn for the final question. Now it's fine for our final question. Yeah. All right.
Now it's fine for the final question.
It's time for the final question. Yeah. Final question is a number. The close without going ever gets 2 points, and there will be no overtime after the 3 of you scored in the last round. Thank goodness. Whoever's close without going over gets 2 points. If everybody's over here the closest, the 2 points. The order will go Matt first.
Oh, great. Yeah, thanks.
Dustin.
1 yard.
Little Mo.
Still going 2
third.
yards.
Will fourth, and our own Statsman Mark will be last. Okay, here we go. Here's the question. Matt and everyone. Final question has to do with that wonderful Sunday night game, the tie in 2018.
I was hoping.
The 6-6 game. What are the total number of offensive yards for the Seahawks in that game, Matt? Total number of offensive yards for the Seahawks in that game.
Oh,
That wonderful.
I have no idea.
The game that would never end.
Yes, it went on forever.
Look, my hands are free.
Yeah.
I'm not looking up anything, people.
I don't know. Let's say, I don't know. Total yards, not just passing.
Total yards.
Okay. Let's say we got 100.
Carry the 2, divide by 5.
I'm just gonna, I don't know, pick a number. 295. I don't care.
295. He does not care. Dustin.
Yeah.
I also do not care,
All right.
but I'll be a little more optimistic and say 327.
327. 295, 327. Little Mo.
The exact number is.
Yeah.
Going my calculations, I'm gonna go with 262.
262. Will. 262, 295, 327.
I'll do 313.
All right, Mark, here's what we got. 262, 295, 313, 327.
1 yard. Go on, do it.
Oh, that game. Oh man.
1 yard.
Anyway, I'm over that now. Let's see. I'm gonna say somehow it was
Got over that.
we're gonna say 415.
Whoa, 415.
Yeah, you lost.
313, 295, 327, 262. The total number of yards Seahawks had on offense, 257. Guess who was the closest? By 5
I told you 1 yard.
yards.
Go with 1 yard.
5 yards away.
Always go with
Little
1
Mo,
yard.
again, 3 times in a row. He hit it on the button. He was 2 yards off. This time he was 5 yards off. I'm taking the kid to Vegas this week. Pack your bags. We're going.
Amazing. What amazing.
Oh my God. Unbelievable. And Zorny, like Pisarcik, all he has to do is down the ball. He hands it off and they fumble. And Little Mo runs it in for a touchdown.
1 yard is all you had to do.
Oh, this has been another amazing, mind-numbing, stomach-turning, heart-stopping edition of your 12-man Fan Jam show. Halftime trivia
Of the world.
of the
If he starts
world.
giving me the answers, I'll be winning too.
Congratulations, Little
Hey, you've had
Mo.
more than your fair share of 3 points, mate. Let me
He
just also
has,
point
he
that
Don't
out.
ever accuse me of cheating.
Yeah, Matt, Jacob's already caught up with all of those, though.
Mark just doesn't know how to be last on that. That's what that was about.
1 yard. Just have
He
to
said
be-
413.
Cardinals game coming up. We'll talk about that after this.
He said
1
413.
yard.
415 in a 6-6 game.
That could have been a
I
lot.
thought
No,
there was a lot of yards in between the 20s.
Well, in Mark's defense, there were 5 quarters of football. You would have thought we'd have.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's true. That's true.
You would have thought we'd had some yards in at least one of the quarters.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
If there's a better use for the internet, I haven't found it.
Holy shit, it's the third quarter!
Check's coming in the mail, Mark. Thank you.
1 sudden yard.
Congratulations, Little Mo, by the way. Congratulations on another hard.
Yeah, it's totally what I was doing.
Zorny, all you had to do was hand the ball down the ball, but no, you had to run.
Hand it
that
off at the
fast
1
one.
yard line.
Picked off at the 1. He's not even talking. Look, a mouthful.
I just pulled something. I don't know what.
Welcome to the third quarter of episode 1013, the Cards edition of your 12-man Fan Jam show. Of course, we hope that winning is truly in the cards for the Seahawks this weekend. On Sunday, we're not sure when this game is going to be played. It's scheduled for 1 p.m. Pacific time, but if the Mariners win tomorrow on Saturday, then it'll be moved to 2:30 Seattle time, which is 5:30 my time. Matt, that's what?
8 hours after Seattle.
Yeah,
so
well,
8 hours.
so
So
either
whatever that
9
works
or
out to be.
9 or 10:30 for you.
Yeah. Whatever.
So we don't know because we recorded the show on Friday. We don't know what happened to the Mariners game. We certainly hope they win, and we hope they win Sunday and turn things around. But in the event that they win, the game will be bumped up. We won't worry about that right now. We will tell you that the Cardinals are a slight favorite, 2.5 points, I believe, and the over and under is at 50.5, which is really high. But we won't talk about that right now. We want to talk about some things to get you ready for the game against those Arizona Cardinals. And the first thing we do is we go to our Dr. Dustin with the 12-man Fan Jam Show injury report. Dr. Dustin, tell us the news.
Sounds like the news is that nobody expects any defense on Sunday.
No, it doesn't sound like that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll see how that goes. All right, so let's get going here with the injuries. We're going to start with the Cardinals. Jacobs, Arizona Cardinals.
I don't think so. Look at the face. Yeah.
I wasn't even paying attention. I'm not gonna lie.
That's fine. I'm gonna use big words. You wouldn't.
I can't hear you from down there.
All right. All right. Here we go. Here we go for real this time.
For real. Put it down, bitch.
All right. So they're Arizona Cardinals. That's the team we're playing on Sunday, in case you didn't catch on to that. They have multiple players that are out, including a couple of running backs that are their top two, I believe. James Conner is missing the game, and Darrell Williams is missing the game. I don't care about their injuries, so I'm not going to talk about what they were.
All right.
Fair enough.
Interesting one is their kicker is actually going to miss the game. Matt Prater, he's out.
Mm-hmm.
And then cornerback Trayvon Mullen Jr. is also out for the game.
Okay.
He seems like a nice kid. I'll mention his injury. It's hamstring. He's got an owie.
Pulled a hamstring. Pulled it right off. Sorry.
And then we have several questionable players for them too. Two of them being offensive linemen. Max Garcia stubbed his toe apparently and was limited in practice. Rodney Harrison has a knee injury. And then we have defensive lineman, Rashard Lawrence, whose hand hurts.
Oh,
now, poor guy.
Put his pinky.
Put a cast on there and call it good. Go club somebody. Like a baby seal. And then cornerback Byron Murphy Jr. has a groin injury.
Oh, God.
Pulled it right off.
Right off.
Yep.
Holy cow.
Now for the Seahawks, we have one player that's out for sure. That is Penny Hart, and he's got a hamstring injury as well. I don't know that he has any catches this year, though, so I don't know if we're going to miss him. I don't remember him having any. Yeah, doubtful for the game, Gabe Jackson, which is kind of a big deal. He's good guard. And then that's a knee injury / hip injury for him. Didn't practice all week. And then, unfortunately, Al Woods, he didn't practice all week either. I know he got pulled from the game last week.
That's not good.
Yeah, not a good thing.
He's the one lineman we have who's actually showing up.
Yeah.
Defense.
And then questionable players, not just like on the defense, but like injury wise. Shelby Harris, he's got a hip injury. Artie Burns has a groin injury. Safety Joey Blunt has a calf injury. And then on offense, we have two more wide receivers that are questionable. That's D. Eskridge. It says illness. It's pretty vague. And then Marquise Goodwin, who has a knee / back injury. Again, we only seem to throw it to like 2 or 3 people, so I don't know how big of a deal that is. However, you still have to put 11 people on the field at once to play.
Right.
So that might be kind of a problem. We'll see what happens. The depth of wide receiver is not going to be good this week.
No.
And then, unfortunately, as we talked about earlier, Penny went to the IR.
Yep.
So he's out for the year. Original report I saw, I think it was from Rappaport, was that he had broken his tibia, which is the big bone in your lower leg. Turns out it was his fibula. That's the smaller bone. It's on the outside of your leg. It's the non-weight bearing. That in itself isn't a big deal, and it can be a quick recovery time. So when I heard that, I was like, okay, well, he might go like IR, designated to return. He might be back. However, he also had a couple of ligament injuries in there. He tore 2 ligaments in his ankle, one of them being the deltoid, and that's a problem. That is a problem. That might keep him out for a full calendar year.
Wow.
With that injury. So we'll see what happens, and best of luck to him. We're going to miss him on the field. So
CJ Procise is not gone, apparently.
Yeah, the ghost of CJ Procise lives on in Seattle.
It continues, and someone who came off IR, Little Mo was very proud to proclaim to me the other day, he said, hey, look who's off IR. LJ Collier, baby. Woo! Woo!
Yeah!
Yes!
And there was much rejoicing.
Yeah.
We're not sure why, but there was.
Yeah. So thank you
Let's see
for
what
that.
happens.
Thank you for that injury report, Dustin.
Yeah.
And now we go to our weather and fashion by turning to a guy in another country. However you want to go, around the Pacific or the Atlantic. He's not here. He is in England, and that is Matt from merry old England. Oh, Matt.
Yes, thank you, Moses. So the most exciting thing about this weather forecast is that we are not in a dome. Nope, not this week. This week, Earl, do you remember Earl? Oh, yes, Earl. So Earl and I, we've collected some weather data over the last couple of weeks. You may remember we flew a drone over a stadium to see what high-level winds was happening. And then we had our in-stadium smoke wind detection system, all of which has given us lots of information. We're quite confident that we've got this weather spot on. It's going to be pretty warm, actually, in Seattle. It's going to be clear. It's going to be around 80 degrees Biden, which for the rest of the modern world is about 26 degrees centigrade, with a light variable wind. So looking good. Looking good,
Yeah,
everybody. Should be a
nice.
good game.
Very
Bit
nice.
smoke in the air, maybe, but that's probably still an afterthought from the smoke detection system that we used. Now, what to wear for this game? Well, the 5-inch Finches are coming to town, and you know I like to try and make away teams feel at home whenever possible. It is a long way to go to Seattle, believe me, I know. Now, every year I do have to reference, of course, Arizona native Linda Carter.
Oh, yes.
Our very, very
Wonder
own
Woman.
Wonder Woman from the
Wonder
80s
Woman.
and all that good stuff. But to be fair, every time I do that, it normally just overexcites Mark. So this year I won't mention her.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention the tights. I'm not going to mention the boot combo.
A
I'm not going
lasso
to
of
mention the
truth.
flowing hair and the Paley white skin. Not going to mention any of that. He's been far too excited this evening already. About
He really had huge,
about 414 yards too
huge
excited.
tracts of land.
To be honest, about 414 yards too excited for everybody else's. But
Yeah.
now. So we're not going to mention her at all. But now, as for me, if I was going to go into this game, there really is only one look for me. That's right. I would go as Arizona's own Alice Cooper.
Ah,
Apparently.
Okay.
So Wikipedia tell me. Complete with his makeup. Quick tutorial for you. Just get in a truck as a passenger and ask someone to drive you down a really bumpy and rocky road whilst trying to put on mascara and eyeshadow at the same time. And you should be able to pull that look off really easily. If you don't have access to a truck or anyone that's prepared to drive, you can just see if Michael J. Fox is available, because he can also do that really, really good too. What? Too soon? What? It's not.
Wow.
It's been years. He's got used to it by now.
Man's
now,
a
of
national
course,
treasure, sir.
a national treasure, and just a very shaky national treasure. Now, of course, no Alice Cooper outfit would be complete without his a set of best hit singles to go with the Alice Cooper outfit.
Of course.
Obviously. So some of my favorite hits of his would be Poison, Gatorade, Hey Stupid, no, not you Gronk, and my personal favorite, I'm 18. And that's why Zach Wilson isn't interested in me. But whatever you go dressed in, remember to throw a Hawks jersey over that, and you should be absolutely fine. With all that being said, it looks like it's going to be perfect Seahawks weather. So, Moses, it's back over to you.
Wonderful, wonderful. I got a great Alice Cooper story I got to share.
Have you? You got to share.
Yeah, he was
I've
in
already seen Wayne's
Toronto,
World.
and they were on the stage, and he said, we're a bunch of kids, city kids, and they threw a chicken on the stage. So he figured, what's got wings that can fly? So he threw it back into the crowd, and pretty soon here came a wing and the head and the leg. Next day, the headlines read, Alice Cooper destroys chicken on stage. So, oh gosh, the guy, one of the famous guys from Detroit at the time.
Eminem.
No.
Mike D.
Anyway. Iggy Pop.
Oh, okay.
Iggy called him and he said, "Did you guys do that last night?" And he's like, "No, I didn't." And Iggy said, well, "Whatever you do, don't tell anybody. Let them think you ripped up that chicken." And so, he didn't share a chicken, but he got credit for it.
Good Lord.
Oh,
Yeah.
it sure wasn't Jerome Bettis.
No.
I hear
So,
he's trying to
hey, let's look at some other games and look at some numbers for some other games in a playful, non-competitive, and entertainment purpose only way. As we turn to our man
Well, that's for sure.
in Nevada, Statsman Mark with Bricks Picks. Now, before he starts here, I want to say that he started the week last week 5-8. He got a push in the Cleveland game because he had Cleveland +2 and they lost by 2. So he got a push there, which is a tie. However, Kansas City did not win by 7, and the Jets game did go over 46.5 points. So, Mark, you currently stand after 0-2-1 last week at 5-10-1, 5 up, 10 down, and that's all you always say. You got to fade Brick. So, what do you got for us this week?
The only time 5-10-1 sounds good is if it's in Detroit.
Nice.
Otherwise, especially this year. But yeah, kids, just you stay in school. Otherwise, you'll end up in lost.
We don't recommend this for anyone at all. This is for entertainment purposes only.
Teaser land. Anyway, on to the games. Let's see here. I got to take off these glasses. So cheap, I can hardly see out of them. All right, here we go. I kill myself. All right, as a favorite. As a favorite, we're gonna eat a lot of chalk, and that's what you do in old age. With Tom Brady, we are giving the 8 points. We're gonna say Tampa Bay. Is it in Pittsburgh? It doesn't matter. Tampa Bay will crush them. Excuse me.
Nice.
Tampa Bay -8, and I'm falling apart here. The underdog, the Falcons. The Falcons. Mariota isn't as good looking as Jimmy G. I don't know what to say there. What does Rogers say? Either way, the Falcons will cover the 5.5. And before my lung collapses completely, we're going to go over. Over in the Green Bay Jets game, just like Zach Wilson and his ladies. This is going to be over 46. That was pretty good. Over 46 in the Green Bay game, and there's your 3 picks right there.
Nice. Tampa Bay, Atlanta, and the Jets and Green Bay. Awesome. Well done, Statsman Mark. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, boy. I'm just I can hardly wait for that for those Medicare to just kick in.
And now, please be upstanding and welcome our own Reverend Moses from the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity for his sermon for this upcoming game. Reverend.
Yes, it is I, Self-Appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity. How is everyone this evening?
Doing good. Reverend, yourself?
You're all doing so well. I see Statsman Mark, you're still in the belly of the beast. God love you, my friend. I pray for you.
Thank you.
He's making candy.
Like, I'm going to say anything.
I'm saying something that he's not listening, but it's all right. It's good to see you. Hey, look, the Big Easy was a hell of a lot more difficult than we thought it was going to be, didn't it? Wasn't it? It was a little difficult. Unfortunately, my church organist, Cleolanda, is kind of passed out over in the corner here. She's still suffering from the party we had last Sunday for the game. Since they were playing the New Orleans team, she thought it would be cute to have a little Mardi Gras party. But as usual, she gets carried away, and she walked away with so many beads for flashing her 93-year-old balloons that people started throwing shirts at her, begging her to put her shirt back on. It was disgusting. It was like 2 little shriveled up balloons hanging off a billboard. You know what I'm saying? Just sad, but we've got her covered. She also made a special gumbo that night. It'd take the hair off your face, and it would take the taste buds off your tongue. It was disgusting. I don't know what the special ingredient was. She wouldn't tell anybody, but I know one thing. Little Timmy Thomas had about 3 bowls, and that boy's been running around town naked, screaming, "Aye!" at everyone like a hound dog on the trail. But we pray for him. Friends, so glad to be here again as we pick ourselves up off the floor of defeat and look towards the promised land without our headphones, basking in the warm glow that is Seahawk positivity. A reading from the book of the 2022 NFL season, chapter 6, verses 7 to 12. And it says, right here, onward we did press. We did come upon the homeland, but there were 5-inch red finches waiting for them. They did come from the land of deserts. They wanted to feed upon us, but they soon found out there was nothing here for them. They were sent back to their desert in the land of cactus, broken and defeated. And there was much rejoicing in the land of Seahawk positivity. Yes, this is the word, my brethren. Can you feel the power? Can you feel it? If you do, let's hear an amen nice and loud.
Amen.
I don't know if anybody said shit because I can't hear anything, but I'll believe it. Hey, if you believe in our power to give our defense the ability to make that little Kyler Murray cry for his little mama, let's hear an amen nice and loud.
Amen.
Somebody say something or don't. It don't matter. If you believe in the power to give our offense the ability to score more than David Spade at a sarcasm convention, let's hear an amen nice and loud.
Amen.
Amen.
Another famous guy from Arizona. Yes, that's the power, my brethren. We are loud and proud, my 12s. No 5-inch finch is going to spoil this Seattle sports weekend. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, Arizona. Winning is not in the cards for you this weekend. This has been the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity. Go forth and spread the good word of Seahawk positivity. Praise Largent, praise Cortez, praise Walter Jones, and praise Kenny Eastley. And as always, go Hawks. We'll be back with our predictions, our prognostications, and our game balls for that game between your Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. And that is coming up right after this.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production. It's the fourth quarter, bitches.
Welcome to the fourth and final quarter, episode 1013, the Cards edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show. I remind you, in a couple of shows, we'll have our Halloween special, and then after that, a couple more shows, we'll have our Germany special. You want to really stay tuned in for those, and of course, all of our shows between now and then. But Seahawks and Cardinals on Sunday, either at 1 p.m. Pacific time or 2:30, depending on what the Mariners do tomorrow at the old ballpark. But let's talk about this game. Predictions, prognostications. First for Team 12. Jose, I'm going to say 34-31 Hawks. Prognostication to Wosu gets a sack, game ball to Gino. Mike Pascal, chance to go 1-1 division. Hawks win 27-24. Game ball Lockett prediction, Metcalf with a touchdown. Mark Ty Turner, Hawks and Cards. Lately, the road team has won these games in this series. The Cards are playing to the script this year by winning all their road games and losing every game at home. Cards win 24-20. Game ball to Walker. Blown coverage will lead the Cards to a game-winning touchdown. So game-winning touchdown Cards would be his. Carey, Seattle 35, Arizona 31. Walker racks up a TD this week. Liked what I saw last week and going to have to see more now with Penny out. Game ball goes to Tyler Lockett. I love that kid. Go Hawks. Jimmy, this should be a typical good battle. I'm not afraid of Mr. Body Language one bit. Hawks win 27-24. Prognostication, DK with the touchdown. Game ball to DK. Go Hawks, go M's, and go away Scott Service. And you know what that means if you're a Mariners fan.
Oh,
Becky, 27-21 Seahawks. Jackson, game ball. Seattle, 2 interceptions. Little Mo, what you got?
35-31 Seahawks.
Good.
I'm going to also go with 2 interceptions, and I'm going to go Tariq Woolen, game ball.
Nice. All right. Very well. Well said. All right. Team Posse. First, Andy. Don't call him Canadian Hawk, Northern Hawk. Andy says 24-21 Seattle, game ball to Gino. Prognostication, Gino runs one in. So a rushing touchdown for Gino. Chris Balding, Hawks 31, Cards 21, game ball to Fant. Prognostication, Walker gets 100 yards rushing. All right, Statsman Mark, what you got?
George Fant? That's bold.
Yeah.
Oh, he's eligible then.
He said George Fant.
Well, I don't know. Again, we always know this is mixed results, but I have Seattle 31, Arizona 28.
Okay.
In terms of my prediction, I'm going to have our new franchise running back, KW3 with over 100 yards rushing.
Woo.
And he will have my game ball.
Nice. I would think after that he should.
I feel bad for Penny, man. That's just tough.
That's tough. Dustin. Hi, Dustin.
Well, hey, yeah, I was just actually going to say almost the exact same thing Mark did, so now I got to revise here. I think we need to score at least 30 points to win the game, so we're going to start there. I'll say we score 35 points, and then Cardinals will have 27. We'll go with that.
All right.
Yeah. And then I don't want to Walker. I really want to do Walker with over 100 yards too, but I'll do something else. Let's see.
You can.
Nah. Well, I'll say DK will have over 100 receiving yards for the game.
All right.
A prognostication, and because of that, he'll get a game ball.
Oh, so you get Metcalf your game ball?
Or 419.
He may have that.
If
he
it's
may
6
have
to
that
6,
this
he may
game.
get that.
I'm feeling really good about this.
Nice one. Hi, Will.
Hi, Moses. How are you?
All right. How's April doing? Haven't seen April tonight.
She's fine. She's sprawled out here on the rug. She's got
Okay.
better things to do than hang out with us.
Yeah,
So
I miss her. But so what you got
Me
for
too.
us, sir?
Me too. I'm sorry. What?
they all miss you, April. She
okay.
seems to be taking that with remarkable aplomb.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna say Seahawks 36 and Cardinals 30. And with my prognostication and game ball, I'm gonna take a bit of a risk here, but you know what? Why not? It's not like I got money on this or anything. I'm gonna say Bruce Irvin gets called up off the practice squad and gets a sack on Sunday.
Goodness.
Ooh,
Wow.
man, that's a bold one. What are you doing over there, Mark?
And he will get my game ball.
You got on the whole defense in 3 days.
Nice.
I forgot he was on the team.
Yeah,
Well,
they just brought him in.
same defensive scheme that he played in Chicago last year. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Touche.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
interesting.
Matt, hello.
Hello.
What you got for us, sir?
Well, it's a difficult one, this, because as soon as you start reaching the heady situation of having 1 point in this scenario, it all starts to get a little bit too much for me.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure.
Let's go for Seahawks 34, Cardinals 31.
All right.
Little Mo, of all of our tight ends, which one would you pick?
Oh God, put me on. Okay, I'm gonna go Disley because he's got a lot of touchdowns. Is that?
Right, I'm going to give my game ball to DK then.
All right.
Oh,
Nice.
And my prognostication,
Just not
I'm
too
going to say,
fair.
this hasn't happened, I don't think, for the whole year. So I think this is a valid prognostication. The Seahawks will score more points in the second half of the game than the first.
I think that's kind of bold. Actually.
Yeah, it is.
it's bold.
Will you allow it? He'll allow it.
Yes, I'll allow it. Because that is
Oh,
bold.
It's better than the Geno Smith 0 interceptions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no shit.
I got a fucking point for that. You can shut up. That
A long
works.
time ago, I tried to call the coin toss a long time ago.
Oh my God. Yeah, we ain't doing that crap.
That was the best.
All right.
Dennis is still not over that, Dustin.
No, coin toss.
Too soon.
Or like 3 run plays in the first 10 minutes of the game. No.
But the thing is, Dustin, can you name the 5 players that we're going to be getting rid of or keeping? Do you think it's going to be
What
the
kind of
top 5?
proposition
No,
junkie
just
we
give
all
me one.
are.
Oh, right,
one.
right. Yeah.
Just one. All
I think
right.
it's going to be the top 5.
Penny's
I think it's
first
gonna be-
step will be on the left side with his left foot.
No
I think
doubt.
it's going to be Curse. I think it's going to be just one. Just one.
Yeah, you
Am I
missed
gonna
that
have
one
to get on a
too.
plane?
You're gonna have to show them some of these older ones or some of the
Yeah,
bloopers from
I will.
those.
I will. All right, it's my turn, if that's okay.
No,
If I may
Good night,
proceed.
everyone.
go away.
See you guys. I'm out.
So,
Yeah, no one likes you.
Yeah, I know. So last week, nice. Last week we learned you can't score over 40 points every week, but to win a game with this defense, I guess that's your only chance. The Seahawk defense as well, it's offensive. I mean, I haven't seen a defense this week since O.J. Simpson trial in 1995. But I mean, you can't
He was
cover.
acquitted.
I know, but the defense was weak.
Allegedly.
He won.
Allegedly.
Just because you don't remember it doesn't mean it
I
didn't
mean, they
happen.
can't cover, but they make it up by not tackling. So we go to face the Arizona Cardinals at home, and the Cardinals. The Seahawks and Cardinals have a wonderful history together. Remember in 2012 when we beat them in Seattle 58-0? Remember that game?
Oh, 50 burger.
We never wanted that game to end. And then on the other hand, the Seahawks and Cardinals tied 6-6 on a Sunday night game in 2016 when we all wanted that game to end. End!
Both sides.
But I digress. The Cardinals offense is sadly once again led by Kyler, who let the 3-year-old on the field, Murray, who runs around the field of football like he stole mama's favorite toy out of her bedroom dresser drawer. And is being chased by his mother screaming, "Give me that back before your daddy gets home and sees it." We all know what that was. Defensively, the Cards are led by J.J. Watt, who comes from a family that, by the looks of the brothers, live like badgers out in the woods in the wild. I mean, maybe if these Watt brothers just had some hugs growing up, they wouldn't be so angry as football players, all right? Sorry. Arizona's head coach is Cliff Kingsbury, who sounds like he and Muffy go yachting every weekend in the Hamptons just to have a super time. And he has his team at 2-3, and people are expecting big things from this team and their little tiny quarterback. But not this week. Watch the Seahawks force 2 turnovers. Watch my game ball Uncle Will Disley catch a touchdown pass. Oh, you 5-inch pitches. You're about to get smacked down by a big bad Seahawk as the Seahawks win by a score of Seahawks 31, Arizona Cardinals 27. Book it.
It is so booked.
Yeah, I know I didn't say fidges. I
Book
said
the
bitches.
hell out
I
of
don't care.
5-inch bitches. That's nice.
Pretty close enough. They're all red. Who cares?
Personal.
So let it be.
And on that note,
with me today. It's weird.
it is time to end this show. Unlike the 6-6 game, we want this show to end as well. It is time for this show to come to an end. We hope you laughed and you learned a little something on the way. On behalf of Statsman Mark, Will, Maddie from Merry Old England, Little Mo, Dustin, Kona, April, Abby, everybody, Kevin Cobb. This is your Aaron Moses saying. Aaron Rodgers, yes. Until this next time, as always, everyone, go Hawks.
Go home.
Hawks.
417 yards.
Cards for sorrow. Cards for pain.
I mean, you just needed
Cards
1
for
yard.
sorrow.
Trivia of sorrow.
Hey, Mark's just giving it to the kid, okay? He's doing a nice thing, letting the kid win.
Well, I would never do that.
I mean, Dustin is
don't
the size of a kid too.
Nope.
So I don't know.
Oh!
My God.